Hello everyone, this is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the DisruptMeister. Remember, you can check out all my videos at disruptmeister.com. Well, I was just working out and I was thinking about Bitcoin, and that happens a lot. I come up with interesting ideas for videos when I'm working out. It's a great way to get your mind running for anyone who's interested in working out. It's very good for you, so I recommend it. But I was thinking about the situation in Bitcoin where there are many people who I guess consider themselves technical experts in the inner workings of Bitcoin, and they like to talk in technical language. And then we have people who are more interested in the financial aspects of it and maybe the freedom aspects of it, and they don't know all the technology behind it. But there's a certain subset of the technology people who, unfortunately, either on purpose or maybe because they don't understand what they're doing or they're naive and young, they create a toxic atmosphere in the Bitcoin community. And I'm a very positive person, and I just want to speak up against the toxic atmosphere. Because there are certain people who get a kick or a joy out of talking to non-technical Bitcoin people and giving them technical purity tests, where they'll ask them what are the technical aspects between SegWit versus something else, a block expansion or whatever you want to call it. And look at me, I can't even say something that simple, and that's how technically skilled I am. And they'll try to trip up Tai Zen, and then they'll trip him up, and they'll be like, "Oh, look, I got that guy, ha ha ha!" And they'll be so happy that they got the non-technical guy. And that's, first of all, yeah, you can trip me up too. You can trip Tai up also with technical questions. I don't know technical answers for a lot of things, but in the end of the day, what does that do for the community? And what does that do for you? Does that make you feel better as a person that you tripped up someone who makes videos about Bitcoin? I mean, it doesn't add much. And you have to understand, from outside of the Bitcoin community, there are a lot of people who look down on the Bitcoin and would like to see Bitcoin and cryptocurrency totally fail. So if you're within the community and you're bitter, you're angry for some reason, and you want to take out that anger toward your fellow community member by trying to make them look like a doofus, then you're aiding the outsiders who want to hurt Bitcoin. And it makes me wonder if these so-called technical geniuses who get jollies out of tripping up people like Ty or people like me, or just saying, leaving in the comments section some passive-aggressive thing like, you know nothing, ha ha ha. And if they, I forgot what I was going to say about it. What's the point? What are they aiming to? I know what I was going to say. What's their point? But do they even own any Bitcoin? That's what I wonder. Sometimes I wonder if some of these people who are kind of taking shots at the less technical people in the Bitcoin ecosystem, if these people are just bitter because they don't own Bitcoin. It would be very interesting in the YouTube comment section if you could see how much Bitcoin a person owned. And sometimes I feel like the less that a person owns, the more likely they're inclined to go on some rant like that, where they feel like they're worth more because they have this technical knowledge. And who cares if Bitcoin went up to $1,000? I've got this technical knowledge. And there comes a point when some of these technical people probably are rooting against Bitcoin. And I'm not talking about I'm just talking about these embittered people who like to give purity tests. It's a purity test. How pure of Bitcoin are you? Oh, you're not pure at all. You know nothing about this technical aspect. It's silliness. And there are people outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem. There's a guy named Mike Cernovich who has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but he talks about Bitcoin. He's got a huge following of men, and he speaks positively of Bitcoin sometimes, which is great for Bitcoin. We need people from outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem speaking positively about Bitcoin. But he says he can't deal with anyone from Bitcoin because it's a toxic atmosphere in Bitcoin. He's like, they're always purity testing me. He used that term actually. So again, this is probably not going to stop a troll who gets jollies, but if you're thinking about becoming a troll, well, first of all, you should buy some Bitcoin. That'll make you happier. First of all, you'll be more vested in the outcome of the Bitcoin situation. You'll think of it in a different perspective. Like, my comments and me possibly making this a toxic atmosphere might hurt the price of Bitcoin. And people can see with the scaling debate we just had, because some toxic people, and I don't know what their logic is, but because a toxic side of the Bitcoin community wants power, or I don't know what they want, people gave those people a lot of attention. And when those toxic people were given a lot of attention, there was a lot of panic. The price went down. And I believe sometimes toxicity can be overblown by people who aren't toxic. We worry about it too much because we want everything to be positive. We give them too much attention. So this is a twofold lesson. Toxic people, you're not helping the community, and you should just buy some Bitcoin, take a deep breath, maybe work out. Non-toxic people, ignore the toxic people. Just ignore them. Ignore them. If you're a content maker, I don't engage trolls at all. I don't engage them at all. And just totally ignore toxic people, ignore trolls, and just whatever. If someone does trip you up with a purity test, say, oh, whatever. I didn't know. Who cares? That life goes on. There are bigger things in life than not knowing a technical aspect of Bitcoin. Let's get people interested in Bitcoin. Let's get that price up, and we'll all be happy. So I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the DisruptMeister. Remember, you can check me out at disruptmeister.com. You make a new video every day over there. So thanks a lot, Tai Zen and Leon Fu. Bye-bye.